Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are sorry for the wait.
Sorry for the wait.
Rich Diet episode 8. We got a big special guest. We got a longtime friend, a super amazing creative businesswoman, entrepreneur, and we're super excited to have her. We haven't seen her in years.
Ages.
Camille, welcome to the Rich Diet Podcast.
Welcome to the Rich Diet Podcast.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited.
I'm glad you showed up after a couple months of us going back and forth.
I know, right?
Trying to organize this. I'm glad you're here. I love the outfit.
Thanks. Yeah.
You know,
My favorite sweater right now.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Looking stylish.
As usual.
I know that you guys were just coming off of Eid, right? Is this the first episode after Ramadan?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why we kind of took a couple weeks off. Is just because Ramadan is it's hectic.
That's something else. Are you
Right?
Muslim?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Girl,
Oh
stop
my
this.
gosh. Salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Mashallah.
Mashallah.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, Eid was great. You know what I mean? We came from a 30-day of restriction and discipline and just staying on point. And, now we're here back with the Rich Diet Podcast. We're back in live in effect.
Congratulations to everyone who completed their fast. I know I watched Bills do his due diligence. He didn't come out and party with us. He, made sure to leave early if it was getting too spicy outside. He had to.
I was inside.
Yeah.
I was on my best
I
behavior.
love that.
Camille,
Yeah.
did you
Man,
fast?
it's powerful.
How-
I did.
Yeah?
Yeah, the whole fast. The whole
Wow.
thing. It was my second Ramadan, actually. So,
Mashallah.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that
To
as
you.
well.
yeah, it was beautiful. It's always a beautiful experience.
Right?
Fasting is like something else. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but
He does fast.
Oh, yeah?
He does like these 16-hour fasts that you do, or like
Oh.
Yeah,
I used 48-hour fasts.
Yeah, I used to fast a lot. I used to do 48 hours, no food and no water, and I used to do that every week. So, and then that honestly, like you're saying, fasting had so many benefits. It helped me build so much willpower.
Yeah.
I was like, if I could override my system and tell myself no matter how hungry or thirsty I am, I'm not gonna drink or eat. It's
Yeah.
I translate that power almost into everything else, because now it's whatever I tell myself to do, I follow through, right? So
Exactly. Yeah, it's totally doable.
there's a saying. They say if you can control what you eat, you can control anything. They say one of the biggest secrets to discipline is mastering what you put into your body. So fasting is one of the biggest keys to success.
You know what we call that?
100%.
We call that rich diet.
Rich diet keys to the game, baby.
I like
Game.
But listen, Camille, let's get into you. Introduce yourself to the
introduce
people who
yourself.
don't know you.
Of course.
Let the world know.
Of course. Hi, everyone. My name is Camille. I work in the marketing and PR industry. I specialize in music and entertainment. And yeah, that's pretty much my professional introduction.
I love that. That's amazing. I know you're a marketing,
Guru.
specialist. Guru, yeah.
She's a marketing guru.
I'm getting there.
Yeah,
Becoming
that's
that
what I'm
go-to.
saying. You're a marketing specialist because you know the game. You've been dabbling with music. I even caught you one time a couple years ago at a crypto event, and you're like, I'm like, girl, what you doing here? You're like, I'm marketing. I'm networking and marketing my brand. I'm like, yo, I respect that. Big up to you. How was that? Yeah.
It was good. I actually work in the crypto and Web3 space.
Oh, really?
And I do community building for them, so I'll help them with their events and stuff like that. I don't really know much about Web3 or crypto.
Yeah.
I mean, I dabble as much as I can, but it's still kind of gibberish to me. But I just help with community building, just hosting, making sure everyone has a good time, and putting a smile.
Like event planning and marketing the event.
Yeah, marketing the event planning, and just hosting overall.
I love that.
So making sure everyone's good.
And I know you've been in this industry for a while, but how many years specifically have you been doing this?
Since COVID. So COVID was what, 2020?
2020, yeah.
3 years ago, bro.
So 3 years I've been actively nonstop working with artists and
So is this you have a business, right? What was your business called?
Wonder Star Creatives.
Wonder Star Creatives.
Shout out to Wonder
shout
Star
out Wonder
Creatives.
Star Creatives.
If you guys need some PR, some marketing, Wonder Star Creatives,
the agency leader right here.
hit me up
Toronto, baby, come on.
at
Tap
Wonder Star
in.
Creatives on Instagram and wonderstarcreatives.com.
I love that.
So is that like your own business? Or you have a partners in that business with you, or is like that something you started on your own? Like, tell us about that business.
Yeah, so Winter Star Creatives, I did start with someone. My best friend, she started with me. She more so pushed me to do it, and she kind of just helped support me along the way. Now she's off of the business, but right now I run it fully just on my own. But I'm starting to grow my team and build my business as I'm starting to get more clients and stuff like that. It's been kind of crazy lately.
Yeah.
So far I've been taking it all on my own, but I'm going to start reaching out for some help because
I mean,
the demand is definitely there. Like, it's getting pretty crazy.
It's definitely like a market for that lane, you know what I mean? Because people need marketing. People need, like, PR, you know, especially in the entertainment world. And, you know, you're a person who just have, like, so much energy, I feel like, and you have leadership traits.
Yeah.
And I feel like you could definitely, like, you know, just pivot the way and absolutely, like, what's that saying? You can go fast by yourself, but you can go further with a team or with support.
Yeah.
So,
like, the artist should focus on being the artist and then let, you know, everyone kind of have their roles so that everything is, like, flushed out properly.
Yeah, no, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah. Man. Good for you, man. And I know it's not an overnight thing. You know, it's.
No, I started, like, I had no idea what I was doing. Yeah, like, I had one artist, and, like, thank God for him because he just, like, let me do whatever I wanted. Like, I'm like, let me make a press kit for you. I've never done it before, but just let me do it. And, like, he's like, sure. I'm like, let's get you on some blogs. He's like, sure. And, like, you know, I'm so thankful for him because, like, that's literally where I started. And it's like, I wouldn't have gone where I am today. I wouldn't have done all that research for him if, like, he didn't, like, trust me to, like, do all that.
Kind of empower you and shit, like, to be in that position. Exactly. Do you have like marketing background? Like, did you go to school for it?
Yeah, so I have a bachelor's degree in PR. So
okay.
Yeah.
Go. So this is just not like an overnight thing, eh? This is like books and tests and all that. I love that.
Yeah. So my approach is definitely very strategic, and it's like pretty organized. I guess I would say. Like, I always kind of like make sure I have like a plan. I'll like present it to them. I'll like set up calls, and I'm like sharing my screen and like doing a post report with like all my artists. But it's really important to know that and have like all the information and research, right? So
So like, what are some of the main things that like you services that you provide? Like, if someone were to come reach out to you, like, what are some of the things that you do for them? Like, I know you talk about PR, so you're doing press releases for blogs, but like in your own words, like, what do you specialize in? What could you really plug people in with?
Yeah. Well, overall in general, like marketing PR nowadays, like they're kind of merged together in one, and they kind of feed off of each other.
Okay.
So essentially, it's marketing PR together, combined, and I put together essentially like a whole plan. And most of my services are like placing paid media, so paid ads.
Okay.
Online.
Okay. Like on Facebook and like Facebook targeted.
Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Spotify, YouTube.
All the social media platforms.
All the social media platforms, whatever is most appropriate for you and your brand.
Okay.
Yeah, and we go through that, and we do all of the target audience research and
you do like all the search optimizations and stuff like that.
No, not that right now.
Not right now, but that's like future. Like, you would get into that.
Yeah, I would probably hire a specialist for that one because I feel like SEO is like a totally different ballgame. Honestly, but yeah, I specialize more in just like.
It's a bit complex than just the regular marketing part.
Yeah. Okay. And then I also plan events. So I'll do like music release parties, community building. I've done like
I've been seeing you post. You posting some events, and you know, me and Poet, we gotta pop up to one of her events.
100%.
Yeah.
We're planning on hosting events ourselves. So
why not?
we'll come support you, and then you vice versa come support us.
That's what it's all about.
And, you know what I mean? And maybe down the road we could collaborative like come together and host an event together. You know?
Yeah. Collaboration is everything.
Absolutely.
Especially in Toronto.
So I gotta ask you, when you like switched to kind of being an entrepreneur, and like, what were you into before? Like, before you started this business?
I was just kind of doing whatever. I think I was serving.
Like working, just like,
you know, and like sometimes I'd be out and like I just felt like I didn't have anything to offer to people. Like, I was kind of just like, hey, nice to meet you. Like, And I was always
like,
around.
People like, yo, where's your business card?
I was always around creatives and artists, and I'm like, yo, what am I doing? I have nothing to offer.
Very smart,
you know what I mean? So I started to think, and I'm like, hey, now I'm studying PR. Like, how can I just put 2 and 2 together? And then I was just, that's how I kind of got into it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because that's how like ideas come to you, right? You're meeting people, and then it's just like a light bulb. Oh, why am I not providing some sort of service? You know, like. Instead of
I need
working,
an intention. I need a purpose.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think it kind of feels so much better. I don't know how you feel, but like since you started your business, you feel like you have more purpose. You feel like you have more of a passion for the work that you're doing.
Exactly.
You feel like you're actually impacting, helping people. So I know, like I want to ask, like, how important do you think it is in this life for us? Like, I have young brothers. There's a lot of kids and stuff who watch. It's like everyone tries to find their purpose in life, something that actually makes them feel like driven. You know. And a lot of times I talk to the young people, they're like, I don't know what I love. Like, so like, how did you find, like, you know, something that really speaks to you and something that fulfills your purpose?
Yeah, I really think it takes like being open-minded and trying different things. You have to try everying. I've done everything. If you know me, you know that like you randomly see me in one space and I'll be in another space. Like
we've seen you out and about, girl.
She's a music video vixen.
I've done everything. I'm telling you.
You've been outside.
I've been outside, but you know, I had to go through that to understand who I wanted to be and what I liked, what I didn't like, you know, and like. It's funny when you think about your purpose and when you're intentional with what you do, everything else will come. The opportunities will come. When I was a video vixen, the opportunities were there. I kept getting asked to be in a music video, but now that that's not my intention, I'm not even thinking about it. No one has ever asked me like the past 3 years. I swear.
That's crazy that you say that. Yeah,
and it's like when you're not thinking about it, or if it's just not like what you're focused on, it's not gonna come to you. It's not gonna manifest to you, right? So it's like. Whatever you're working on, you know, as long as you're just like intentional with it and like, you know, just
intentional,
trying new things.
Just trying new things, like it'll come to you, and then like when you're ready to let it go, like it lets go, and then you just move on to the whatever's next, right? So, yeah. But in terms of like finding your purpose, I think that's like definitely a deeper kind of like reflection that you have to have internally, like with yourself.
Absolutely.
And just understanding like who you want to be and how you want to represent yourself. So like me, when I used to go out, I didn't have a purpose. My purpose was to let loose and have fun. But
you're young, you know. I feel like you're just when you're young, you're kind of just like going with the flow.
You're just going with the flow. But now that I have found my true purpose and you know what I actually want to do in life, I go out with the intention of only networking. And if I don't network and I feel like I'm not networking, then I leave. Because that wasn't my purpose. My purpose is not to be here and hang out. Yeah, it's like I don't want to waste my time, but like I'll go just because that's the intention, but I'll come back home if I'm not feeling like I'm fulfilling it.
So was there like a significant moment or like a significant event that just like kind of just turn on the switch for you to like, yo, I gotta get on my purpose. I gotta get on my game. Like, was it something like that happened or just like random one day you woke up that way? I don't want to like get too deep, but just like briefly.
No, I think it really, you know, life is hard and people hit rock bottom, right? And I feel like that's essentially what really gets you thinking.
Okay.
Because you think you're doing so good and you're distracting yourself and you're numbing yourself through like other things, but like you're not actually fixing the issue. So the void within, right? So when you finally kind of like hit that rock bottom and you're like, why isn't anything working? That's when you start to really think and reach out because you really feel like you have no one else to reach out to. And then that's kind of how I started to grow in like my spiritual journey and my relationship with God. Good. And it was tough. You really have to like look at
yourself.
Shadows.
Yeah, you have to look
shadows.
at yourself. Your shadows and look at yourself in the mirror and be like, yeah, am I really this person?
Tough. Because you have to let go of all those distractions to be there. You have to like at that time, it was so funny because the day that I decided to do all of that was January 1st, 2022.
Okay.
I just woke up New Year's Day and I was like,
so it's like New Year's, you're like, I'm done.
It was so weird because I drank that night, New Year's Eve.
Okay.
The next day, I don't know, I wasn't even thinking about
what you're gonna do,
relationship, like Islam. I wasn't even thinking about that yet.
Mm-hmm.
I just woke up and I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking weed. I've been celibate ever since.
Wow.
I just like stopped. It was so weird, and I feel like that was the beginning of my calling and my relationship with God.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So now you're basically practicing like the Islam faith, right?
Yeah.
I love that because like it's not easy. You know, people try to portray Islam as like this. Like I mean, I don't mean by it's not easy. I mean like it is easy to be an Islamic person because it's just like when your call to God comes, it's just like you realize, okay, there's so much like things that were like normalized that were not healthy for me. You know what I mean? Like like the going out, the consuming alcohol, the partying, and like you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And how has your experience been since you like converted? Like,
oh, it's been beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's something that I never thought I could do. Like 3 years ago, I've tried to quit drinking and I've tried to step out of that lifestyle, but like it was so hard for me. But it wasn't until I started truly understanding like who I actually want to be and what was right for me, that's when I was like, okay, I gotta like be serious, and like I feel like God honestly made it easy for me.
It's basically just a spiritual awakening. Like I know Poet, he's a big spiritual guy. He's always telling me about spiritual this and that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's such an important part of life, spirituality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When we talk about filling a void, it's like a lot of people, they attach their value, right, to either their physical appearance or like a lot of material possessions, what they have, what they own, you know? And it's like, honestly, if you always have your value based on what you have as opposed to who you actually are as a person, then it's like you're always going to feel inadequate when those things that you're attaching your value to are gone. Like say your looks fade or say, you know, you gain some weight. So it's like now your whole like completeness, how you felt, is kind of taken away now because, you know, you don't really feel yourself without all these external factors, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like in order for you to fill that void, you know, and really feel whole on the inside, you have to have some element of God in there. You know, it's not like you could just feel like, like so supercharged when realistically, like you don't really know who you are, where you came from, how much bigger you are. Like you're actually a spirit. You're more than just your physical flesh. You know what I mean? I think that's what it mainly is. It's like you attach so hard to your physical body. You attach so hard to how you look and what you have in this material world. But when you get into the realm of God, you realize that like you're way beyond the physical world. You know what I mean? You're a spiritual being. You're connected with a higher power that's beyond this earth. So then you could attach your value to be like, wow, I'm like an all-powerful being. Like I'm created in the image of God. It gives you like a whole new perspective and value, you know?
Guidance.
Yeah.
I had so much guidance. I had so much more discipline after like converting. And I felt like so lost before. And I feel like a lot of people say that, you know, like when they like start getting religious, like I was so lost, and then like God found me. But like it's literally so true. Like that's
it's not to make it sound cliche, but it's like what you actually experience, right?
Yeah, that's what I actually experienced. So like I was really just like, yo, like what is my purpose? Like who do I want to be? And I just wanted to be someone that can spread love and that could spread a good message, that could spread like that reminder of God. Like, and I was like, why can't I be that person? Like I could still be in the culture, I could still be in the community, I could still be in the lifestyle, but why can't I be that person in that lifestyle? You know, to like continuously remind people that like it's all good, you know, just come back to God and just, you know, pray about it and
I love that.
love.
I love that for you.
I think like that is amazing. It's like and I feel like this is one of my like motivations in life is to kind of rewrite what it is to be cool. And I like what you kind of touch base on there is like, you know, let's still be a part of the culture. Let's still like not ostracize ourselves from the world and feel like, oh, we can't be a part of like, you know, like be around people our age. No. How about we actually shift the culture to a higher frequency culture where we can engage in more like higher level activities, like going to, you know, eating healthy, going to the gym, networking to do business, and still being able to have fun, but like have a much better like you know higher frequency to it. You know what I mean?
Like an awareness,
of
like knowing yourself and like, you know,
not amplifying the
Being
darkness.
the best version of yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Amplifying the good, being humble, being kind, being generous, instead of amplifying the toxic, like, oh, who is the most, like, has, the most money, or who's flexing the hardest, or who's got the most clout. It's like, no, let's change, like, that's not cool. Like, that lame shit, you popped 10 bottles, you did this, it's like...
But you have to realize, it's like the society, right? It's like, yo, like, you go online, right? That's all you see. It's like, everyone's glorifying that, and it's like so normalized that we almost like lose the essence of being pure, as like, it's not cool being pure. It's more like, you gotta be a toxic guy.
And that's why I said we gotta change that.
You gotta be a bad bitch, or you know what I'm saying? Like, that type of mentality is so... It's
not healthy, and it's not progressive.
Yeah,
it doesn't really get you anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Realistically,
do you guys feel like we have the power to change that?
I feel like we have a power to contribute, not change it completely, because changing is like look at Tupac. He tried to make changes. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it on himself. He couldn't. But it's like you contribute a little portion of of that, and it could cause a change or a change of effect. You know what I mean?
You can be like the spark that ignites the flame of change. You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly. It doesn't have to be like on a grand scale, but for me, like knowing that I kind of like am healing that past generation trauma. I feel like I'm starting a brand new sort of perspective and like a sort of healing for like my generations to come. So for me, that change is like, that's everything
it's
to
huge.
me. That's everything to me. And my children are going to learn from me. So if they can spread my word or what I've learned and the things that I've been through to their surroundings, to me, that's enough. And if everyone can think like that, then that's when it could change on a grander scale. When everyone's like, I got to change for the sake of my offsprings so that they can be better people and change the world.
I don't underestimate the power of our generation, honestly. I feel like our generation is super powerful.
Yeah.
I feel like the trend, although like, there is a lot of toxicity, or there's also like a whole new wave of like free thinkers, spirituality. People have knowledge at their fingertips like never before, and it's like, I don't think that the world's going in a bad direction. I feel like they want us to think that because that kind of fuels like their side of the battle of like keeping things bad. But I think that we have to be really optimistic and feel like human beings are very powerful, and we could really create any reality that we want to create.
I mean, but like it's also too like the way you're brought up too. I feel like nurturing, like if you come from a household and it's like nothing but struggles, like you're just like you're just so easy to like become so like fuck the world, like you know what I mean? That mindset. Oh, I don't give a shit. I'm like like you just like, or if you get nurtured in a home where it's like you're spoiled, it's like it's like, so it's all come down to nurturing. Like, how would you say your upbringing was for you? Like,
honestly, I'm so thankful.
Yeah.
I have so much gratitude for everything that I was given in life. I mean, everyone has their little hard time beefs,
with
here and there with the fam, and I'm an only child, so I have only child syndrome.
Eh?
You know what I mean? So maybe I could say that, like, that was something.
You don't have siblings, like.
I have a half sister, but I didn't grow up with her, so I feel like only children.
They're usually spoiled.
We are spoiled, so that's why I say I'm grateful. But there's other things that I wish I had. Like I wish I had a brother, a sister to like hang out with and like talk to and argue with, like like that's why I'm not really confrontational, because I'm like I've always been like just on my own, versus like when you have like siblings, you're like, are you done?
You're ready to
like
go to war.
You're ready to go to war because like you grew up with that, so it's like there's different dynamics,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You grow up like that. So.
But how's your experience like growing up in Toronto? Do you feel like Toronto is like it's toxic, or it's like a great place to live?
I love Toronto. Toronto's always my home.
Right? Toronto's home. Toronto's always home.
I don't know. There's just... I love Toronto, and sometimes I feel really good about it. But then sometimes I don't.
Sometimes like, I want to leave
I'm
and never
like,
come back.
I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. I feel like it's the weather.
True.
Yeah.
The weather really affects everyone.
Yeah, it affects your mood.
We're vitamin D deficient. Like, that should affect us somehow. Like, we're clearly affected by it. So, but I think we're progressing to a better kind of society, and I think we're all kind of thinking the same things. Where like we need to start stepping up and be more collaborative and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And just
What about you, Paul? What do you think about Toronto? Like,
what do you guys think?
Would you raise your kids here, or would you like say, I'm going somewhere? I know where you're going. You're going to Dominican Republic.
I would raise my kids here. That's for sure.
No.
This guy's going to Dominican Republic.
I definitely see myself. I see myself like investing into property and raising a family in the States.
States?
States
is messed up.
Oh man.
I don't care.
You know, I'm
Where,
not really trying to throw
Like
shots.
Florida, Los Angeles, like a
That's nice.
Texas, like
Okay.
on the South, I really want to be in the heat. I do, like you said, like for me, weather is a huge thing. I've been able to escape winter, like a lot of, the past 5-6 winters, I've only been here for like 1 or 2. So I really got a feeling of not being here in the winter, and I'm like, yo, it feels amazing to be hot all year round, okay?
It's a different vibe.
To not have to experience 6 months of cold, it's a luxury that, why the hell would I deny myself that luxury?
I kind of like the 4 seasons, though, like, no cap.
I
You
love
like
you,
4
Toronto. I love, no.
What?
No.
I like to go to the beach all year round. If I could go to the beach all year round, catch some sun, because, like, honestly, my favorite country I've ever been to was Brazil. Brazil is a gorgeous paradise.
Yeah.
Beaches, mountains, city, so it's like, and then I feel like having that, and the weather is amazing all year round. So it's like, I feel like having access to nature makes a city so much more fun.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
100%.
let's go to the beach. There's no barrier. Where are we gonna meet? Where are we gonna go?
But Toronto still is like a waterfront community too, so you can I get it. It's not always all season long.
It's not all season long, and even too, it's like you're comparing Lake Ontario to Copacabana Beach, one of the biggest beaches in the world. Like, I do not want to touch 1 foot in Lake Ontario.
You'll have 3 feet after that.
Oh,
Literally, since we were kids, we've been hearing that you're gonna
you
grow
wouldn't
a
swim
3rd
in
foot.
Lake Ontario?
Nah.
No.
You never went to Woodbine Beach and swam in
cap.
Woodbine
Don't
Beach.
act like you never swam on Woodbine or at Scarborough Grounds. Put your
long
your feet in
time
it.
ago, before all that pollution, maybe. Or maybe it's always been.
We all gonna die.
When you have no other option, shoot, I'm gonna go in there, but like, it's definitely not the same.
No.
But
to
answer the question, I feel like I had a love-hate relationship with Toronto, and I escaped. I wanted to escape for the longest time, and I did escape. But then after escaping so long, I'm like, you know what? Toronto is actually one of the coolest places in the world.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you guys are like
some of the most coolest people, some of the most like amazing characters. There's like amazing vibes. Like sometimes when the hype is here, the hype is real. Like it's real. You really feel like, yo, I'm living a movie. I'm in Toronto. Like,
Summertime's next level.
summertime in Toronto. It's
man.
I can't hate on my city, man. Nah, like, it's a love-hate relationship for me, but I know Bills, he's a Toronto boy. This man, when I'm traveling, he's like, yo, why don't you just stay down in the city, dog? Like, what the fuck? Like, why you need to go OT? Like, I'm over here, I'm holding it down in the city. Like,
yo, you have to realize.
Be smart, yo.
You have to realize, Toronto is one of those top cities in North America. And all types of, cultures here. Like, all walks of life you're meeting in this one destination. You know what I mean? I get it. Yeah, the weather sucks, but when you have those 4 or 5 months of summer, fall vibes, it's active. It's lit. Gets busy out here. You know what I'm saying? So it's you just gotta know how to cope with it. And more times, I'm a winter baby. I was born in winter, so for me, I don't mind winter. I like putting on a bubble jacket.
It's nice for fashion. For
fashion,
it's cool to
you know what I'm saying? I don't mind it, but don't get me wrong. There's days when it's cold as shit. I'm like, man, I wish I was in Dubai right now. I wish I was in somewhere else. You know what I mean? But it's a love hate. But lately, as I'm getting older, I'm like, bro, it's calm. It's calm.
There's a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, because sometimes I travel and people be like, yo, you're from Toronto? Oh my God, I want to come there, I want to visit it. Yo, I'm like, people look at Toronto like it's a New York. And it's becoming like New York. Just the way it's rapidly growing, the development, and it might be expensive.
getting
to live.
there.
It's definitely expensive, but it's like, hey, and then if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
If you can make it in Toronto, you can make it anywhere, man. That's why the #1 artists in the world, they're from Toronto.
Facts.
All right, shout out Big Dog Drizzy Drake. Shout out Justin Bieber. Shout out The Weeknd. Shout out Shawn Mendes.
Shout out Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez, like
free that boy.
What does that tell you? It's like the most predominant names in the world, they all came from this little province of Ontario. All right? That tells you that this is a breeding ground of some like next level creativity. And I feel it. It's
and we got one right here on the pod right now. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
big superstar right here.
Great.
Pop your shit,
man.
girl. One day we're gonna see you on TV, on CBC.
Not one day. You gotta affirm it. I am.
Affirm it. That's true. That's true. I told myself this year I wanted to like be more out there. You know what I mean? I wanted to like really step up my PR game for myself. Like I'm doing PR for all these people, but I need PR for myself.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. And you know what? That's what it is. Sometimes you just gotta put in the work and like provide a platform for people, but it is gonna come back and
double down on yourself.
You know what I mean?
Right?
That's the main reason we started this podcast, because we're like, we're always trying to put ourselves on the forefront.
Yeah.
But it's like, how about we step back, build this little this little platform where we know down the road is gonna come back, and like all that love we're giving out, it's gonna come back in full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. So what you're doing already is you're doing the right thing. Don't even like trip. You're good.
Listen, I want to say something. Want us to get a little deep here, get a little vulnerable.
Get a little spicy.
All right? I want us to be vulnerable here.
Deep.
Oh, shit, okay.
Vulnerability, I think, is like something we desperately need in this world. I want us to say, like, we're all three creatives, right? We're talking about us being creatives and, like, really trying to chase our dreams in this world. And I feel like, let's really tell the people, be honest with them. Like, what are some of the biggest struggles that we face on a day-to-day that we feel like is our biggest hindrance to success? And I guess I will start it off so I give you guys some time to think. But I feel like for me, it's like I struggle a lot, and I have struggled in my past with a lot of doubt and worry. After working on myself for so long, like, and I really did a lot of meditation and got to really analyze my mind, I really noticed, like, damn, I'm my worst, biggest enemy. I'm always thinking something's gonna go wrong. Like, you're not going to be adequate. It's not going to go... Like, when I really sat down, I'm like, there's so much negative chatter that's, like, speaking down on my life and being like, it's not going to work. As opposed to, like, a voice that's like, everything's going to go your way. This is going to be perfect. It's more times than not, it's more, like, worried that something's going to go wrong. And I really feel like that doubt is crippling as a creative. It's really crippling. And
what would you say? Like some challenge that you face.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Because I used to think about doubt and fear, but then I just started just doing it and going for it and seeing the brighter side of things. Like, sometimes I feel like in my eyes, like, I fail because I went for it, but, like, if I never had gone for it, like, I still wouldn't have had certain opportunities if I had never done that. True. So like I don't see doubt anymore, but I think in general what I'm struggling with, and I don't know if this is more like just like a personal thing, but I still struggle with like people pleasing. Yeah, and like I always feel like I want to be liked, and I'm getting really deep to like like my personal kind of like insecurities, but like
care what people think of you, or
I care a lot about what people think about me, and like sometimes I'm scared to express myself, and I feel like that can hinder me because I'm not saying how I feel, I'm not expressing myself, I'm not being myself.
I feel like that's a good point, because a lot of people probably feel that way. They feel that challenge, like they want to do something, but they care what others think.
Yeah, that really affects me for sure. Yeah, but I'm working on it. I'm just like trying to like shut that thought out and just be like, what, I don't care. I'm me. I love who I am, and I'm gonna just honor that.
Yeah. Well, that's like, it's not easy. You know what I mean? Like you're constantly battling with your own mind. Like what you said is fear, doubts, That's the mind playing tricks. You know what I mean? What you're saying is that you're trying to please people. That's the mind playing tricks. You know, and like I could relate to both of those like symptoms. Like I have those myself. I struggle with those signs, and like all the time I'm like, am I doing the right thing? Oh, am I saying the right thing to this person? Am I pleasing this person? Oh, if I do this, will this person like perceive me in a good, in a good fashion? Like, so it's like, it's the mind, at the end of the day, and it's like, yo, it's tough. It's really tough.
It's a constant internal
It's a
battle.
constant battle.
It's constant. And it's like, sometimes you think you're really working on it and you're healing, and then something triggers you.
Yeah.
And then it comes out and you're like, whoa, I really thought I was working on this. Mm-hmm. Like, that literally happened to me the other day, and I was like, why do I care?
Yeah.
Like, why do I even care what this person thinks about me or what they say or what they do? Like, it just doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter.
I think at the bottom line of it, things like it really don't matter. It's like, if you even notice now with the trend of social media, like something dramatic happens, within 2 days it's gone.
It's gone.
Like it's gone. Like nobody even thinks about it. It's something new that pops up, and it's like that thing that happened 2 days don't even matter no more. Like
it's the same thing with us every day, right?
Yeah.
I used to think people cared so much. Then I realized like people are so obsessed with themselves.
Yeah.
And their own problems and their own insecurities. Like the amount of percentage they spend thinking on you is a lot less than what you think. Like, oh, these people are talking about me and they think about me. Like maybe a
percentage,
a little tiny percent. But realistically, it's like you said, like you look, you scroll, you make a little judgment. You forget about it, and then it's like out of sight, out of mind.
Out of sight, out of mind, bro. Yeah. That is what it comes down to, and it's like,
it is what it is. As long as you have awareness, right, of like those things, and you could kind of just like have more grace for yourself and be like, you know what, I felt this way. I was feeling scared. I was feeling whatever, like someone's judging me, but then you just keep that awareness and you throw it up.
Okay, I don't want to be like gender biased, but do you think like females are like that a lot? Like do they always like want to please each other, or like from your perspective?
Being a people pleaser, is that like a feminine trait?
Is that a feminine thing?
Yeah.
I feel like more so yes.
Yeah.
Because like we just want to make people feel good around us. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Opposed to guys.
Opposed to guys, like they're kind of like, I don't care, I do my own thing. Like they have their own kind of mindset, right? And like girls are kind of like, oh, like did I say the right thing? Or like, I don't know.
You notice that amongst your peers?
Or white?
You notice that amongst your girls, like?
Yeah, I see it more so amongst my girls. Like a lot of us, we talk about people pleasing and like we give each other advice about it, but it's definitely a big topic of conversation when I talk to my girls. Yeah, so.
I feel like with women, like I don't want to say this, but I feel like and a trend that I've seen is like, I mean, men can be like this too, but I just find this is like women, it hurts them to kind of be wrong. I don't know if you guys get that with me, but it's like sometimes I feel like women really work so hard to people please and like to really think about so much that say something does go wrong, it's hard for them to just admit like I made a mistake. It's more like, no, this happened. Like they don't want to 100% take accountability because they're trying so hard that like they never want to let themselves look like, they failed. I think women have like like they never want to feel like they failed,
Yeah.
And men were just failures all the time. We can't escape it. We just accept it. We're failures.
Just holding L's after L's.
Yeah, because we think so much, right? Like women are thinkers. And that's why sometimes if you've seen that meme, it's like sometimes you just gotta go to guys like, should we do this or should we do that? And the guy's like, obviously this, and we're like, okay, thank you. Like it takes us time because we think so much.
Think
and,
so many different scenarios.
So detailed. So like, should I do this? Should I do that? And guys are just like, yo, just do that.
Yeah, just do
that's
that.
the answer. And you were like, okay.
That's like some Andrew Tate vibes. There's like a masculine and it has a certain tendencies, and then there's a feminine that has a certain tendencies. And I agree with that.
True.
Like a man is like more of like, okay, I think like that's amazing because I feel like women are so creative. I've been tapping in with so many women with this podcast. So many women are like, you have amazing ideas. Like, oh, we should do this skit. Oh, we should play this game. And they have these big visions, and like really creative ideas. I find like women are super creative. But men, we're like the ones who will choose and be like, yeah, that idea, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like they'll have a list of ideas, but they don't want to freaking get down to it.
Yeah.
Like, let's do it. Let's get it. Let's hop on a pod. Like, why you being shy? You know, like, let's get it. Let's talk about it.
The women have the
That's like
creativity, and then the men kind of like, you know, they'll like, okay, make the final call or like take the first action type of thing. Like,
exactly.
get it into motion.
That's why I got a lot of respect for you, because you have like the courage to just say, all right, let's do it. Like, you hit me up saying, yo, I see you got the pod. Let's do it. I'm like, yo, she's lit. She's coming different. I'm like, yo, let's get it.
She's on her PR run.
Yeah, she's on her PR run. I love that. I love that. I love that.
No, I actually made that intention this year. You know, so I work like at a corporation as well, right?
Okay,
I do media planning for them.
Sick.
And I got an award, and it was the most likely to be famous.
Yeah.
Right? And you guys said that earlier in this podcast too. So as soon as that happened, that was like right before the new year. And as soon as that happened, I'm like, yo, I gotta like try to be famous. You know? Like I gotta like get myself out there. So that's why I'm making that effort to reach out and like make it happen, because you need to. Can't just, a lot of the people, like when we talk about manifestation, a lot of people like try to just use their minds, but they don't understand that they have to accompany it with an action. They're always just like, oh, like let me just like write it down and like.
Yeah, they think it's just gonna come to them, like.
Right, but it's like you really have to like put
yourself
in that action.
out there.
Put yourself out there. Yeah, with anything, right? So that's kind of what I did.
That's good, man.
And I'm trying.
That's kudos.
You're trying and you're succeeding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally, we're gonna look back at this podcast when you're actually famous, when you're sitting down with like Oprah or somebody, and we're gonna be like, you see, she manifested this shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love Oprah.
You love Oprah?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
She's great. Yeah.
Have you seen her like podcast segments? Like any of her like little, like not a little, my bad. Sorry, Oprah, you're not little, you're mega, okay?
Yeah.
But have you seen
I haven't actually.
You need to watch it.
Not yet.
Because I have listened to a few of her podcasts. It's on Spotify, and like I just put it on, and yo, just listening to her is like, yo, she's like a mother. Like,
she has that calming voice, eh? She
has
that super calming voice.
Yo, anyone that's watching this, just turn on Oprah while you're in the house. I promise you. Like I wasn't even watching the visual. I was just listening to audio, and like I was so like intrigued by what she had to say, and I'm like, yo, this woman is a mother. She's a powerful voice.
Sophisticated.
Like, literally, like, she's the goddess. Like, she's the one. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, definitely listen to her.
I will. Yeah, I will after this.
Yo, I remember before we had the cameras rolling, we were getting into some hot topics, and we were like, you know what? Let's hold it before we go. So,
AI?
We're gonna get to AI, but you know what? I already touched on corporate Tate, and I want to just double down on that. I want to know, Camille. You know, there's a lot of conflicting like opinions when it comes to Andrew Tate and his philosophies. I want to know, like, what do you think? Like his stance on the world. Like, how do you feel about it?
I am an Andrew Tate fan.
Really?
Yeah, I have listened to most of his podcasts. I subscribe to his emails.
Wow.
You're a part of the mastermind group, or what is it called again?
Mastermind group. Oh gosh, I don't even remember.
Hustle University.
Is it Hustle University?
Something like
that. Yeah,
Hustle
I think so.
Shit.
But no, I like him because I feel like he really is tough. You know, he doesn't cut corners. He doesn't try to like sugarcoat what he's saying. And he's straight to the point, and I think this society sometimes they need to be told. They need to be told, like,
I feel like
when something's not okay.
I feel like you're like a very few girls that actually rock with him, because a lot of girls, they just watch a quick 6-second clip.
Oh, they're mad,
and they're like, nah, this guy he's a sexist. Oh, he's against LGBTQ. This and da. Like, you know, they just hate him. Like, you know what I mean? Just off a 6-10 second clip. But I feel like you took the time to understand his concepts and his way of spreading his message, and you're like, yo, this guy talks shit, like, he's talking that shit.
Exactly, and a lot of people do take what he says out of context, and like I've literally watched hours of his videos, and I may not agree with everything that he says, but I think the general message that he's trying to say is that, you know, yeah, we are in the matrix, and there are people that are trying to bring us down spiritually, mentally, emotionally, even physically.
Absolutely.
So it's like we have to be aware of these things, and if no one's literally like yelling at us in our face and being aggressive with it, then we're not really going to listen, right? And like I think what he's saying is like, if we're gonna compromise our values so far, then it's like, what do we actually stand for? Like, if you stand for something, you have to stand for that. And it's like, you can't compromise, because when you stand for something, you have to know like why it's wrong. You know, and if we let it happen for too long, then it's like there's negative consequences. So I think that's generally what he's trying to say.
Yeah, I think like honestly, I'm a Andrew Tate fan as well, and I think very similar reasons. It's like I really like his delivery of like not sugarcoating what he's trying to say, and really being like relentlessly him. I think that's my favorite part about Andrew Tate is like he's relentlessly him. He has his worldview. He has the way he moves on this earth, what he values, what his morals, what his ethics are, and he's strong. And we need strong men like that in this world who are like not gonna fold for anything. Like you said, it's like I'm not bending my values for nobody. This is my worldview. This is how my family's gonna think, and that's what real men are, right? We set that structure.
Yeah.
You know, and I just think like he's maybe like I just want to tell everyone is that okay. Just because he has that worldview and like he's firm in it, it doesn't necessarily mean like it's 100% truth and fact. Like his is the correct way for all people.
Yeah.
Because my thing is like this world is filled with so many different people, right? And it's like so many different walks of life, different stories, different paths, and it's like his path is not going to be the blueprint for everyone else. There's people who are way too emotional, have been traumatized, that are maybe not ready, you know what I'm saying, to process it. They need another form of delivery, another form of guidance, right?
Yeah.
But I think the main takeaway I get from Andrew Tate is like, especially for us men, you don't have to be exactly like him, but man the fuck up and be the man that you are, and figure out what you stand for, and figure out what lines that you're not gonna cross, and fucking man the fuck up. You feel me? For lack of a better the word, but like really, he is calling men to like, yo, be your own man.
No, I agree. Listen, I agree. I like some of his like ideology, like whatever he stands for. You know, people need to toughen up, and a lot of his shit he's saying is just tough love that people don't want to like, you know what I mean? Like take it in, you know, and people try to paint a different narrative with him is like, oh, yo, you're an attention seeker. You're just saying shit just to get attention. And this kind of comes to my next question. Do you think social media has made us people who seek attention so much? Like, has it caused so much attention? Like, has social media really made people like want to just crave attention? Like, do you notice that?
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like it makes a lot of people like insecure, and like they don't feel good about themselves, because at the end of the day, social media is not real. Right, so then when we see ourselves in the real life, like you're disappointed almost, because we're like, why can't I be like that? Why can't I look like that? You're
comparing yourself.
Yeah, but when you see it through social media, it's not real, because you have no idea, first of all, what that person has gone through, what they are going through, what they did to look like that, what filters they've added, Facetune, all that stuff, right? And then you just become blinded, right? And you think that's what you want, but it's not real.
It's cap.
It's cap. And
hear that, guys and girls? It's cap.
Yeah, and I think it is starting to cause a lot of issues, especially in like relationships.
Big time.
Where it's like you constantly have attention from all these people, and you think that, oh, it's okay, like I have him or I have her, and like to fall back on, and like it's not a healthy cycle.
Yeah.
You know, you really gotta just.
Honestly, it's like it's a homewrecker, you know.
It's a homewrecker.
It is a homewrecker.
Guys, I feel like relationships are dying, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie, but I feel like relationships for our generation are like they're phasing out. I'm not gonna lie, like it's becoming smaller and smaller. I don't know too many.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah. Are you in a relationship right now?
People don't want to date.
You are?
Yeah.
But you're on social media.
I am on social media.
So does that work well for you, or does not work well?
You try to be intentional with your social media, and like it's more of a tool for your business.
Yeah, exactly, and like it's so much deeper than that. But I feel like in relationships, people focus too much on social media.
True.
Who you're liking, who you're following, who you're commenting on. Like it's not even real. Like you gotta keep reminding yourself, like none of it is real.
It's cap.
It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I'm sitting here with you. It doesn't matter whose photo I'm liking. Like don't even put yourself in that position or in that mindset. number one. So you have to find someone who has the same
Tell
mindset.
them.
Like, if you want to be in a toxic relationship and you're going to enable that person. You know what I mean? But, like, if you want to be in a healthy relationship, don't even bring that into anything. Like, why are you letting a third party into your relationship?
with your partner about, like, don't ever bring this thing up, like, because social media is not real. Like, do you have it?
Because we have so much of the same values that we don't even have to bring that up. It's not even a topic of conversation because it's like, it's just...
Why are we going to fight over that?
Why are we going to fight about that?
Why are we going to fight over social media? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think maybe once there was a conversation where I was like, unfollow that girl. And he was like, yo, I literally don't.
Unfollow that bitch right now.
Unfollow her. I don't like her. But then, like, he was kind of like, I literally don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't even know who she is, you know? And I'm just like, you know, why am I, like, getting, like, all caught up? Like, I had to catch myself, you know? Because I'm actually someone who, like, I don't care either. But, like, sometimes, you know, you get in your feelings or whatever.
For sure, because what if you're like, you know? What if you see your partner liking the girl picture and shit? Like, does that disturb you or no? Like,
no, I don't care.
You don't care? It's just a, like,
don't care.
Fair.
Yeah, like, you have to detach yourself from things like that.
Yeah,
you know, like, if you're too attached to things that literally don't matter, you're gonna, like, your relationship's gonna fall apart.
It's like you said, like, if you want a healthy relationship, you have to do the things to make it healthy, right? If you want a toxic relationship, then you're gonna have a toxic relationship, right? You're gonna be toxic. You're gonna be possessive. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing that people are, like, slowing down on relationships, because I feel like not too many people are even at a maturity level to have a healthy relationship. So I feel like society is called to, like, maybe us heal a little bit more before we get into relationships. Because I watch my parents, I watch my grandparents. Like, what's the divorce rate right now? I was telling somebody.
I wonder.
Off the roof. Well, COVID time, that shit was off the meter. Like
I was telling someone in Toronto, if you got both of your parents at home, you're a minority. Almost everybody I know in Toronto, their parents are separated. Like, it's very few that's like, yeah, I have my mom and my dad. I feel like a lot of people are living with either a step-parent, someone within their, like, second or third, like, generation, their grandparents or their parents have gone through a divorce. So, seeing all these failed marriages, I'm like, I feel like that recipe that they had for relationships was not necessarily working. Yeah, sure, maybe people were having all the relationships, but how many of those relationships really worked and were healthy? Yeah. They created families, like, we're here, we're alive, you know, we're the next generation, and it's like, thank God that these like, relationships, whether they were good or bad, they, like, you know, got us here. But I feel like we're a different generation, and we're trying to do things right. We're not trying to feel those same, like, experiences we felt when we were young and try to bring our kids into similar cycles. We're trying to break a lot of these cycles, right?
But I feel like we're thinking too hard about it. Like, you're thinking so hard, you're seeing red flags left, right, and center, but then, like, 10 years go by and it's like you've already missed out on so much when you could have just chose that one person and stuck to that one person and chose to love them through the good and bad. You know what I mean? People are so quick to leave. You know, when they see one little thing, one little flaw, and then that makes the person themselves feel bad, and it makes them feel like they're, like, not lovable.
Yeah, they're not good enough.
They're not good enough because you're not willing to stay and work it out. You know, and, like, I don't know. I guess it's all subjective again, but it's like.
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful. I think that's super beautiful.
You need to make your choice and just try. You know.
But you have to understand, as human beings, it's in our nature to just become unsatisfied. You know what I mean? We're like, we chase something.
We always want something more.
Yeah, you always want, like, you always
think you could get better.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, with social media, like, let's say you have a girl that you've been with for, like, 2-3 years. Now you're on social media. Now you get attention from another girl. And, like, that's how I think a lot of, like, relationships are breaking apart, you know?
I think, like Camille said, people are not really fully invested. They're not ready to go the distance.
1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah, they're not really like,
exactly.
I'm ready to go through the bumps and grinds with you. I'm ready to see you on your worst days and, like, still get through with you. It's more like, yo, you better not show me those sides of yourself, because the second you start showing me those sides of yourself, I'm out. You know? and I do love Camille's mentality, and we do need more like that, more of that in this world, to be like, you know what?
That shit.
People are focused on the wrong things, man, and it's really, like, so detrimental.
Everyone's gonna have their defects, no matter who you meet. No one's gonna be perfect. So it's about kind of like building a connection and like
not even building a connection, building a friendship.
A
Friendship before anything is so important in a relationship. Like, if you can't be my friend, or if I can't be your friend, then, like, we don't have that foundation. If we skip right to, like, the romance and the commitment and the unfollow these girls, like, it's
That's
like,
crazy.
are you my friend first? Like, can we talk about it? Like, can we, like, just chill and, like, have fun? Like, if you go straight to the top, it's kind of like you get scared and you want to run away because you're like, this is not what I signed up for. You know, I want someone who's like my life partner, someone who I could laugh with,
who understands you,
who understands me, who gets it, who will trust me. And it's like, you don't.
You can tell secrets to, and then they won't, like, you know, they'll hold it down. Actually,
they'll hold it down, like, you know, like, it's like sometimes we skip to the top, and it's like we didn't finalize that foundation.
But it's just like, you know, it's just like human beings. No one's perfect, right? Everyone just wants to get to the. Everyone wants to get their cookie in the jar.
Yo, I'm telling you. Yo, that's the issue. But you know what? It's a little bit toxic and stuff. But I'm gonna tell you right now, like, I feel like this way, and I'll come on camera and I'll say this. Like, honestly,
you're already on camera.
Like, honestly, I'm gonna tell you guys, like, I feel like, if for me, I'll be straight up honest with you. I don't see myself settling down right now. It's like, I just feel like there's so much room for me to grow, and I feel like I'm gonna be experiencing life on a different playing field if I'm able to see through when I see through what I need to see through. So why do I want to kind of date right now when I'm not even at my highest potential where I'm gonna be able to have a different playing field later?
I think he hasn't met the right girl yet. Do you think that?
No, I think you're right. I think you need to find who you are. I think you need to know who you are and find who you are before you find someone else. Because if you're one person today and another person tomorrow, that person fell in love with who you were yesterday, not who you are tomorrow.
Right.
So you need to know who you're gonna be before you bring someone else in.
She's giving you game.
So
right
I think that makes sense in my opinion.
It makes sense.
I feel like in today's age, it's like, especially we're talking about Instagram. We're talking about these high expectations. People are getting flown out to Dubai. People are going to go. Swiss Lee got a gold steak and he's salting it up. You know what I mean? Like, so people are seeing that and they have this expectation. So it's like,
first thing first, before you go deeper, Salve is banned. Okay, that guy. I'm never going to go into his restaurant after I see him.
At the World Cup, he was acting up at the World Cup.
Oh, yeah,
he was being a super groupie.
So
not even, he was being an attention whore.
What do you mean so what? The man at the World Cup?
Yeah.
All you did was put salt on people's
He's stealing people's shine. He was stealing people's shine.
Trying to steal the spotlight
True.
when you was on the team and shit. Like, you're not even from Argentina.
I know.
He was acting savage.
The meat quality has gone down anyway.
Huh? The quality went out?
Yeah.
Have you tried his food?
I have, yeah.
Really, eh?
Yeah.
In Miami or?
Miami and New York.
Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah. New York was better, but the third time I went in Miami, it just, like, wasn't the same.
It wasn't
hitting?
hitting?
It was, like, right after COVID, too.
Wow.
It wasn't hitting. I don't know.
Did you meet him, like, that guy?
No.
Oh, you never got to see him?
Spent, like, $400. I wasn't even satisfied. Like,
really, eh? So it's all a hype. Salve, you're a hype, bro. I ain't messing with you, man.
Yeah, I don't know about
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, I feel like I said, back to one of the questions, like, I feel like he was just trying to get attention. Like, he was just craving attention, doing the most, stealing the World Cup from the, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's
he was
true.
out of pocket.
Yeah.
He was out of pocket.
So I want to ask you, Camille, like, okay, we're talking about, like, relationships and whatnot. It's like, could you, as a woman, date a man who's, like, financially, like, unstable or, like, is struggling in life?
Yes, but I would want to see an effort on his end to try to show that when he is financially stable, he is willing and able to take care of me. You know, like, when he does have the money, he'll save up for it and make sure to take me out once a month. You know, like, it's like, you might be financially unstable right now, but if you just make that conscious effort,
yeah.
to be like, you know what, she'll like this once a month and, like, try to make it work,
Yeah.
I don't mind that. And, like, I always go back to the story with my cousin, and she moved to Dubai with her husband. And when they first moved to Dubai, they were living in a car. They had nothing. They were barely doing anything. They didn't, like, they were, like, broke, essentially. And eventually it got to the point where he just had to put in the work to make his own business. And now he has his own business, and he's doing like YouTube courses and teaching people how to do marketing and stuff like that. And they're living in the Burj Khalifa.
Wow.
You know, but it's like they had to go through that living in a car moment to be able to grow to get to the Burj Khalifa. You know what I mean? And it's like you gotta sometimes just like. Gotta like hold it down. You just gotta sacrifice.
But that's the thing.
Hey,
yo, you just
ladies,
said some real
listen to that, because I feel like this is a dying breed. Camille, this is a breath of fresh air right now, because I feel like in today's generation, like I don't want to speak bad on that. I pray that there's a lot more people like this, but I feel like women will not stick with you. The modern day woman will not stick with you through the struggle. Like I don't know, like. The expectations seem to be very high in today's age, like compared to how it was before, and it makes sense. You know, people want to have a higher standard of living. You want
to be stable for sure, but it's like, but don't stick with them if they're not making an effort.
Absolutely.
Like that's when it's like, okay,
progress, no progress. Yeah.
Yeah, like don't be a bum.
That's when you're a bum.
You have to know the difference.
Obviously, yeah.
If you ain't putting no effort, you're a bum.
But yeah, like I mean, being an entrepreneur, chasing your dreams, like your aunt and uncle or your cousin, was it your cousin or your aunt?
Cousin, yeah.
Your cousin. It's like they had to go through that struggle where they were like broke in order to get to good times, right?
Exactly.
But it's like, are they gonna stick around when there's hard times?
But that's the thing, like modern girl, not even modern, but the girls in this day and age, Instagram, whatever, you see it like in the memes they pose. I ain't fucking with no broke boy. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's so embedded in the culture now that it's like you said, like it's very rare for a girl to even think the way you think. I'm gonna be honest with you, and it's kind of like a fresh breath air, like that you actually stayed in this shit. Like yo, you gotta stay down with that person that you actually like, and you gotta kind of motivate each other so you guys could come up. So it could be a beautiful journey and a beautiful story that you share, and you share these experiences and memories you live on.
Guys.
But people don't want to do that.
We need each other. Men and women, we need each other. I've read a lot of like books on like how to be a millionaire and whatnot, and they say like common theme is that behind every strong man is typically a woman that was by his side and that helped him,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're talking about our generation where relationships are dying and like we don't really have that connection with each other. I feel like it kind of is holding us back because, like we do need that female support. We do need that backbone. 100%. And I feel like things aren't flowing because there's so much like toxic masculinity and femininity that it's like there's not this synchronicity that really needs to happen between the masculine and feminine.
It's true. It's not flowing. And what is our true purpose in life? It's to have children, right?
Is that the true purpose, you think?
God said, "Be fruitful, and multiply."
What do you think our purpose is? Like, I think personally, our purpose is to.
I agree with that.
To have kids and to have a partner and a family.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think? To me, in my opinion, my purpose is not to make money. It's not to have a career. It's not to have the best.
I agree. I agree with
That's
you.
That's not my purpose.
But like, I'm more on the impact type of vibe. Like, I feel that's like one of the ultimate purpose. You gotta have an impact, like a positive impact. You know what I mean?
True.
Like, you want to leave an impact. You want to like help people. Whereas like yo, that person was very impactful. That person
help the world. You want to help the world at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Like the purpose is to help the world. But that's why through having children, it's one of the best ways to help the world. Because you're gonna do everything in your power to make sure your child is a better version of you.
Yeah, but you can't just put it in that perspective only. You gotta understand that some people that don't want to have kids, but they want to have this positive, thing to share to the world. So it's like an impact. It's like, yo, this person wrote a great book that just like gave so much knowledge, or this person like wrote beautiful music that just inspired millions of people. You know what I mean? Just that impact. Or this person had it was a philosopher who like taught people this way of living. Like he left the impact. You know what I mean? Like Socrates, all these people, like you know what I'm saying, that just left the impact. Bob Marley making those songs, like you know what I'm saying, like just that impact that is just like, yo, that name lives forever. Like Tupac never had no kids.
He didn't?
I'm sure he would have wanted to.
Tupac never had no kids.
I'm sure he would have wanted to.
Tupac died like 24. Like he was young.
He would have loved to.
But look at the impact that he left.
Yeah, he did leave an impact.
You You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like, like when you really boil it down, like the human race, we would just like want to lift up the next generation of children and be like, yo, let's just pray that these next generation, they're going to be smarter than us. They're going to be more,
They're already
more nicer, more generous, more positive, and like they learn from our mistakes. You feel me?
Right.
So I feel like it is a big purpose to like keep this humanity going.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? And we keep getting it better.
Life is like next level. Like when you really think about it, it's like, what is that?
But now imagine now you're creating life, and then your kids are coming in a new generation of like automated intelligence, like artificial intelligence. Like, what's your take on that? Like AI and stuff like that.
Oh, it's so new. I feel like it's still so new, and I don't know if you guys heard like Elon Musk and all these like top tech guys. Like they're protesting against it.
Really?
And they're almost the ones that almost like
started it.
Yeah.
Right? But they're like, yo, we gotta chill out because we have no idea what information they can get and what they'll be able to do in the future. Like we have no idea. We still don't know enough. So it's like they're like, we need to slow down. Like please stop doing all of this stuff because they're gonna start learning and they're gonna start taking over the world. Like they literally said that.
It was already a threat in certain jobs.
Who watched that Will Smith movie, I, Robot?
Yeah, that's Terminator.
Man.
They're already predictive programming us for this shit. Like it's
You
crazy.
think AI will affect like your marketing like career and like things that you already like people that are in your world?
I feel like AI could literally take over everything. Yes.
I don't think everything. But like
eventually it's gonna be everything.
Like what I do, I plan
Even
media, right?
No, humans can be useless because like there's certain essence of just a human being. I know like.
Of course.
AI is not be able to take it. Like, just like...
But there is that human craving. Like, sometimes I do crave that human interaction. So, like, I feel like as humans, like, we're going to still want that. And we're gonna stop it at a certain point and be like, no, I want to talk to a person on customer service. I don't want to talk to this person.
Then it's going to be too late.
You know
like,
what I mean?
Sorry, dial number 9.
Oh, man, that
all those
drives me
automated fucking voice calls. I hate that shit.
That's what it's going to be, right?
I just be pressing 0, 0, 0 until I fucking hear a human. I'm pressing 0 all day. On customer service, I hate those automatic.
I know. I hate when you press 0 and it doesn't go anywhere. Usually it works.
Yeah, it usually works.
These days are getting smarter.
Until, watch, they're going to be like, all right, no more 0. They know. That's crazy.
I think we should protest. I think we should be like, no, we still need humans
to
talk to. Yeah.
Shit.
You know?
AI is scary, guys. I have a goddaughter, and I was just looking over some of her assignments. She was showing me, like, her presentation she had to do at school, and she had to do a poem. And the poem was so good, right? And she, like, kept slipping in, like, Google, help me with this poem. Google, help me with this poem. And I'm like, I'm hip to the new shit going on. So I'm like, is this girl on ChatGPT? So I said, Aaliyah, what do you mean, like, Google help you with this? Did the AI help you with this? Did you use ChatGPT? She's like, yeah, but I changed up a 1-2 word,
Oh,
and then because she has older cousins and stuff, right? So she's like, I guess in high schools they're super using it to do assignments and stuff like that.
Kids are going crazy with it right now.
Yes, literally, my goddaughter was literally like, whatever question she has on her homework, you just type it into ChatGPT, and then it gives you your answer.
And he can rephrase it multiple times.
So she's just copy and pasting. And then, like, honestly, I didn't want to snitch her out. I never told her parents. But in my mind, I'm like, yo, it's crazy because you're not learning anything. You didn't learn how to do a poem. You didn't make an effort to try to do the poem. You didn't try in any way, shape, or form. You're going to hand it in. You're going to get marked and graded on it as if you did it. But realistically, you never learned the skill. So how many of these kids are passing, getting, like, their stamp, their verification, their credentials, but realistically they haven't actually proven their skills because it was an AI that did it for them. So I'm like, this is dangerous.
Oh man, that's dangerous.
Crazy.
That's really dangerous. That's scary. Ow, they could literally take over anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
It's scary.
Damn.
An artist's voice. They could fake an artist's voice.
Yeah, it's happening already. Like those are songs they're putting up by Drake. It's like Drake making a freaking reggaeton song. It's like,
it's not even Drake.
Yeah.
but it sounds like it's his voice.
Exactly.
They literally
like
took
him.
that, like his whole enunciation, like, and just make a
Guys,
song in like 2 minutes.
This shit is the Matrix. Everything can be replicated. Like, everything is numbers and codes. It's like when they're replicating those voices, the fact of the matter is that everyone's voice has unique frequencies and like if you match the numbers up on what that person's voice is, you're gonna get the same sound, and that's really what's happening with
and
AI.
you know what's happening right
stats,
now with that same thing too. I seen this shit like, so you know, like in your banks, like when you call your bank or something, they have voice recognition.
Yeah.
People are getting scammed now by AI. Like, so people are getting people's voices and calling these banks, claiming to be these people, and getting access to people's banks. So it's like a new scam already happening. People using AI to help them scam like these people's voices.
I'm gonna ask a big question. So
That's crazy.
If AI wipes out all these jobs, right? Like literally, farms are gonna be robot production. Even in the future, we might see construction, like manual laborers going to like robots. What are we gonna do as a society, as a population, when there's no more jobs?
Do you remember that movie? And it was like an animated movie, and there was like people sitting on like beds all day, and like rolling around in like these elevated like beds, and they were all just fat and like eating like junk food. Do you remember that movie?
I remember something.
I can't remember the name of it.
Spirited Away? No,
it wasn't that one. Oh, I can't remember it. I'll try to remember it.
That's what you picture might happen in the future. Like we just all gonna be on beds,
chilling back,
a bed with a stroller, just
with something in front of our face, like a screen.
It's like the Black Mirror episode. You ever seen the one where like everyone's kind of like in their own little cubicle and everything just gets delivered to you, and like you don't have to go out, like you just basically.
But what's the whole point of that?
Bro, it's the Matrix. It's the Matrix.
Yeah, we gotta get out.
Depression.
We gotta create our own world, heaven on earth. Huh?
Yo, for real.
Heaven on earth, guys.
Man. We gotta create our own society, like, and like not indulge in that so much, you know?
And the young people are the most gullible people because they're the one that's using these products. They're the one that are gonna be like literally they're gonna be the consumers of what's like whatever the people are making these shits. You know what I mean? They're gonna be the first hand people to go and purchase whatever AI or get a subscription on AI chat GPT. Whatever AI has to do or whatever the cool tech shit, young people are there. So how do you divert them from that? Honestly, I feel like it's only way is like niggas gotta learn the hard way. They gotta go through a little consequences by like AI. Imagine they got AI police and they're coming, boom, they're arresting you in your sleep or some shit. Like it's crazy.
Or like Rick Ross says, your Tesla gonna drive you right to the police station.
Yeah,
what?
You know what I'm saying? Your Tesla gonna drive you to your police station. Oh, you freaking ran a red light, or you pump gas and you forgot to pay. You're going to jail. Like, well, Tesla, you don't pump gas, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Charge up. You charge up.
You charge up when you didn't pay. That'd be insane.
It's terrifying. I still think it's really early though.
I mean, it's
in our lifetime we're gonna see a lot of change.
It's progressing.
Yes.
Because us 90 babies, like the amount of change we've saw so far, it's amazing. It's like from the internet to the DVDs to the MP3s to the phones with antennas, to the touchscreen phones, to the iPads, to like the wireless headphones to like AI, to like never stops.
Yeah, you gotta ground yourself, man. Get back to nature.
Get back.
Nature is beautiful.
Do you meditate and like do stuff like that? Like go to like the nature and meditate?
Yeah, I try to because I think prayer and meditation should go hand in hand. You know, prayer is talking to God and meditation is listening to his answers. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it definitely goes hand in hand.
You find that like it's a great way for you to reset?
Meditation and prayer? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, and especially like for going back to Islam, but you know, praying 5 times a day. I pray 5 times a day. But it really is just time for myself. It's for me, right? For God. So I love it.
Yeah. You know? No, it's therapeutic for sure.
No, you got to make sure you take time for yourself. Like stop working, stop, you know, like working for your boss and doing this, that, and the other. Take time for yourself as much as you can every single day.
Self-help is the number one thing that you can do in this world. Like, if I could think of one thing that really changed my life, it was knowledge. Getting new ideas, new perspective, reading books, listening to people, elders, and like just like opening my world view. Like, you have to understand, when you're raised, right, by your family, it's like you're raised in a box. Your worldview is just the ideologies that were put into you by your parents, and like this small little world you're living in. The world is so much bigger, and when you really start getting a lot more information and you start seeing life in a bigger perspective, it's like you're living a completely different life, because it's like you're not bound to that same little rules where you think life is like this and people are like this. Now you're like, wait, people can maybe be like this, and maybe this is. You're open to all these new possibilities, and it's like, what's the gateway to these new possibilities? It's like information.
Yes, and you have to be willing to unlearn certain things.
Absolutely.
Unlearn certain behaviors.
Let go of these habits that you have. Let go of these certain ways of thinking.
In order to grow, right? You have to unlearn some things, and
true. No, I agree on that. At first, when you said unlearn, I'm like, why would you want to unlearn something? But it makes sense in a sense, like let go of things that are so like normalized to you, where you're like, yo, this is not always right.
It's no longer serving you.
It's no longer serving you. Yeah. That's a good.
Like what you once thought was okay, or you once thought was right, now you're kind of shifting onto something else.
You think like there's like I don't know, the people that are controlling the world or running the world, you think they're trying to have this one idea, like way of living? You think this is happening right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see it. Like, do you think that they want to teach people this one way of living? Like, do you notice that? Or
yes, I definitely think they have agendas that they're pushing on people, right? And it's so obvious.
Is it?
A lot of it is obvious.
A lot of people don't see it. They can't read between the lines.
A lot of people don't. But to me, it's obvious. I don't know about you guys, but
I think so. I think like the world is a business. Like I studied business. I went to school for business, and then I started realizing that every single thing is a business, man. This microphone, this table, this podcast, like everything is a business, right? So when you really realize that this whole life is a business, it's like you are the customer. These big corporations are like, they're running a huge business, and you're their money maker. You're their cash cow. So you have to understand that the easier they could influence you, the easier it is for them to make money. So the more simple you are, the more obedient you are, the more easy you are to influence, then it's like it's bread in their pocket. So if you think there's not a war out there for your mind, for you to try to be like dumbed down, and for you to try to be manipulated, like you are confused, because there is definitely a war out there on our mind, and there's a big influence for us to like, not be free thinkers, just kind of like be easy to be controlled,
Mm-hmm. But do you think that it's just the Western world of thinking, or you think this is a global thing that's happening?
Global.
I think there's certain things that are global, and then there's certain things that certain parts of the countries or certain parts of the world are kind of taking on their own. But I think there is one global kind of like agenda for sure.
Yeah. There's like rich mother effers in every single country that are like collaborating, like, you know what I'm saying? And
on some hustle university shit. No, man.
No, I'm serious. It's treacherous out here.
So if you were invited by one of these like big world forums and shit, would you go?
I feel like you have to have a certain mindset to do that stuff. Like, I feel like I would just be so overwhelmed.
No, if you had to speak for the female, like, you had to go there. Camille, boom, put on that blazer, like, I'm the boss lady, I'm finna come stand for my people. Would you do it?
Like, political stuff? Like, those types
Not political,
of things?
But, like, more of, like, I'm here to, like, mediate what the fuck you guys are trying to do to us.
Oh, man. I don't even know if I would ever want to be involved in stuff like that, to be honest. I'd rather just live in my own world.
But now, are you selfish by doing that, by living in your own world?
No.
I don't think I have the power to do it. Like, there's people like Andrew Tate. He's willing to put himself in dangerous situations to do that. He went to jail for his message.
I mean,
literally. Like, am I willing to go to jail for my message?
He didn't go to jail for his message. They were saying he, like, did some.
Yeah, but that was a threat. That's like them threatening him.
Human trafficking stuff. Like,
what if they all of a sudden tomorrow I say something globally and all this stuff, and then like tomorrow they're calling me like.
But you know who's a great person? I'm actually thinking about. What's the girl that actually Andrew Tate threatened? The little girl, like the 15.
Greta Thunberg.
Yeah. She goes to jail every week, but she's standing for her message. Climate change.
Yeah, but I heard that that's all fake. I heard that's fake. Like they videotape her getting arrested.
Climate change. She gets arrested. She got the
See,
little.
nothing is real. You don't even know what's real. That's why I just. Man,
No?
I can't be that person personally.
No?
I can't.
You can't.
I have my own
Value.
Well, there's a saying.
thing that I'll do.
There's a saying that says like you should die. You should be ready to die for what you believe in.
100%.
And all great people, they died for a cause.
100%. And I would.
Those are the ones that left a crazy impact.
Those are the ones we still talk about today. Is the people who died for their cause.
Yeah.
You know. So I wouldn't mind to go down righteous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I swear, I will die for my cause 100%.
You die for your cause?
I love
You
that.
die for your cause?
I would, but I wouldn't want to be like the leader. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to be the leader. I don't want to be the face of it. Okay.
I'm the mater. I'm the
You're
mater.
gonna leave an impact.
Yeah, like maybe I'll like be in the background, you know. But like I won't. I don't know. You never know.
It's a tough one.
You never know. Yeah, it's tough.
I'm gonna ask you guys a serious question. I really want you guys to spread some wisdom to the world. I'm gonna start with Bills.
Okay.
Bills, I want you to give the world some advice that you would give to your younger self. If you could go back and talk to your younger self, what would be something that you would tell yourself?
If I could go back and give advice to my younger self, what would I tell my younger self? There's a lot of things I would want to say, but I'm just gonna sum it up in like a short way to say it. Is that I would just say be nice to everyone, because you never know who that person is and how they are feeling, because you being nice to that person, it might just open up a door that you never thought you could walk through in life.
That was beautiful.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Be nice to everyone.
Yeah.
Be
You
kind.
never know,
Be
man.
kinder.
Yeah, be nice and kind and shit. That's it.
It's
Because I remember, like, you know, when I was maybe 16 to 18, I was very like moody, like, you know, very like thuggish, younger, like, you know, just like you know, like very like, I feel like there's a lot of hormones too.
Yeah.
You know, you're just
ignorant,
like,
kind of very ignorant.
You know what I'm saying? I was just like, yo, like, you know, very like,
and influencing a lot of people kind of to like kind of be like you, which was kind of toxic and ignorant.
Toxic, you know what I mean? I was very like,
not a good role model.
You know what I'm saying? And I was very like trying to be a hot body, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's just the way our society, like, how mans were brought up, you know, one in the hood and all this, single parents, it's like you always had that tough, but it's like even deep down thinking about it, I'm like, that shit was unnecessary, because it's like,
you could have moved with more love.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Right.
it. Be nice to people, and you never know. It might just, you know, put you in a different situation.
Opportunities and blessings.
Absolutely.
Opens new doors.
Opens new doors, yeah.
Yeah, and
Supportive people around you, you know.
exactly. And what would the message be for you?
For me,
For your younger self?
For my younger self, I would tell her that not to be afraid to be yourself. And if someone ever tells you no, prove to them why they should have said yes.
Mm-hmm.
And just never stop believing in what you want to do and what you want and what you believe in.
Mm-hmm.
Never let someone tell you that you can't do something.
Never let someone, yeah.
Never say never.
That's solid.
Yeah. How about you?
What about you, poet?
I'm gonna say just like let your light shine. Let your light shine. Don't be scared to be who you are. You know, believe in yourself. Believe. Be your biggest fan. Be your number one fan. Be your best friend. You should be your best friend. You should be the one who like really like believes in themselves and cheers them on. And like I said, has that positive self-talk that's like, yo, we're gonna be millionaires. Like you know, just really speaking highly of yourself and like. You know, just having that belief, man. I think belief is one of the most, like, as I said, I've struggled with doubt and worry and negativity and pessimism. And it's like, yo, the counter to that is belief.
Just do it.
I can. I am.
Do it.
You know?
Just do
I love it. Honestly, like, we've been sharing great peace of mind for the past, like, hour or so. And, like, I appreciate both of you, too. You know, just by coming by, you know, and just like
some good talks.
It was some natural, really like dope conversation.
You know,
right?
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
we shared
no,
peace of
great.
mind, and it was healthy. It was a rich way of thinking, a rich diet, a way of thinking. We appreciate you for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is great. I love having these kind of conversations.
It is. It's refreshing, because it's like we haven't seen each other for years, and then it's like, boom, we can
it's like, where are you at now? Like, what are you doing? Like,
let's catch up, and it's like, it's good to see the growth.
Instead
of, because, back in the days, we see each other, yo, we trying to go turn on? What's up? Like, yo, where the party at? Now it's like, yo,
now it's like we're making moves, and we're growing, and we're like,
we have our platforms, and we're trying to use our voice.
I love to see it.
I love that. I love the growth.
Wow.
I really love the fact that, we reconnect, and, like, the energy is different this time around. Like,
it's like the same, but it's different.
It's the same, but it's different.
Exactly.
You can feel the maturity, right? Like,
you
know what I mean? Like, we're growing, we're more conscious, we're more aware.
Yeah.
And, it's just it's just elevation this year.
Upper echelon.
Elevation.
Top of the top.
Elevation.
We thank you so much, Camille, for joining us. Honestly, you brought amazing vibes.
Yeah,
we didn't expect nothing less. We knew that was gonna happen.
We love that.
We want to say anything on a closing note to the fans and the viewers at home.
Yeah, I just want to say, thanks for watching, and keep believing in yourself, and never let anyone tell you no, and just keep doing what you do. Spread love, spread a good message, spread positivity. Follow me at Camille Anne or my business page, Wonderstar Creatives. And I'm always, open to
tag down there for you.
Tap in with her, young artists in the city, businesses, anybody who needs some more information and some strategy, some help in the marketing world, in the PR world. This is your local girl right here in the city.
In the 6.
Can't get much better than that. All right, Rich Diet Podcast. We have the best guests. We got the best vibes. We're the #1 podcast upcoming in the whole world. All right.
Hey.
We love y'all.
We love.
Episode 8. Shout out to Unknown Studios.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Poet.
Shout out to Bills.
Shout out to Camille.
Shout out to you guys.
Appreciate you.
We love y'all.
We out.